Friday to you. It is the 10th of February, and these are the Friday Funnies. I'm coming to you live this week from my hotel room in beautiful Orlando, Florida. And it's gorgeous down here in Florida. I'm drinking orange juice because I'm in Florida, and I got this out of the minibar. Best $18 I've ever spent. Well, the countdown has begun. We're only 4 days away from Valentine's Day, and it's the one day of the year when you really don't want to screw up if you're a guy. Because if you mess up on Valentine's Day by giving your love something like a blender or a quart of motor oil or a card that you made yourself out of crayons and cardboard, you're in for a very long, lonely year. Valentine's Day is the time for romance, and by that I mean jewelry. Okay? You've been warned. And speaking of romance, Mimi Alford has come forth this week with a brand new book that she wrote about her affair with a U.S. president while she was an intern at the White House. Now, surprisingly, the affair was not with Bill Clinton, but rather occurred 50 years ago with John F. Kennedy. Mimi was only 19 years old and a virgin at the time when JFK introduced her to presidential hanky-panky. She said it was fun, but now that anybody who could disprove her story is dead, she thought it was time to turn a profit by writing a book. Personally, I find it rather hard to believe that JFK would have cheated on Marilyn Monroe. But, you know, what do I know? We're now in the current process of figuring out who our president will be for the next 4 years, and this week Rick Santorum showed the power of the sweater vest by winning 3 primaries that are non-binding and pretty much therefore mean diddly. Except to Mimi Alford, who said, "Hey, he's kinda hot." And speaking of hot, here are the hot stories in this week's news. In Kentucky, Andrew Toothman was arrested for burglary and indecent exposure at a Food World IGA market. It seems that 22-year-old Toothman broke into the store through a window, then he took all of his clothes off and covered his body in chocolate sauce and peanut butter. Then he rolled around on the floor in the manager's office. Mr. Toothman is currently in jail and plans on using the Reese's Pieces defense. With the economy what it is, bank robbery has become a popular way to pick up some extra cash. But 2 people this week decided it was also a good way to prove how goofy they were. In the Florida Keys, a man walked into the Stock Island First State Bank, walked up to a teller, and demanded money. Oh yeah, he was also wearing a pair of shorts on his head. Well, the teller was confused, and she said, "Hey, why do you have shorts on your head?" And this made the guy think to the point where he simply walked away, hopped on his getaway bicycle, and was arrested a few blocks away. Net take on this robbery, 0. Meanwhile, in Sacramento, California, Daniel Hedgewood entered a Wells Fargo bank, and he had a McDonald's bag containing 2 hot apple pies. He told the teller, however, that there was a bomb in the bag. She gave him money, and he ran out with a substantial amount of cash. Police were called, and he was caught shortly thereafter, still holding the McDonald's bag. But the bag didn't contain a bomb, just 2 hot apple pies, which, if ingested with Diet Coke, could explode all the same. Sheila Hershey is a big fan of Hooters, and I'm not talking about the restaurant. Sheila has breast implants that inflated her chest to size 38 MMM. Now, I don't even know what MMM means other than but suffice it to say that her chingies were about the size of overinflated basketballs. They were so big that she had them reduced to 38 KKK, which are the size of overinflated volleyballs. And so after taking her new supersized girls to a Super Bowl party in Houston, Sheila was driving home and crashed her Ford Mustang into a tree. Fortunately, her 38 triple K Hooters cushioned her blow like a personal airbag and kept her from getting crushed. She said she may have hurt her feet in the crash, but she's really not sure, because she hasn't seen them in years. Hey, that's all I have for you this week from Florida. Please pass these on to everybody who could use a good laugh, and I will see you next week where I can get orange juice for like $2. See you then.